So the Three Palaces Festival is up soon, only this time it will be a bit of a different edition than usual for obvious reasons. With us here, well, joining us via Zoom, I have Michelle Castelletti, Artistic Director, and she will be explaining a bit more in detail how this will be an alternative version of the festival we're used to. Michelle, in your
Hello.
hands.
Good morning, Ramona. Thank you very much. This is wonderful to speak to you. Yes, this year the festival, like many other festivals, has decided to turn digital because of the situation the world finds itself in. It was an adventure to do so, and we have learned a lot in the process. But I think it has a lot of positives as well. So I'm hoping that we can reach many more people and try to reach more people even around the world rather than just in our country. So in one way, it's a very good thing. I've tried to curate something that is very multi-art and very interdisciplinary, just rather than just multi-art form. So hopefully everybody will enjoy it in different ways.
What exactly will be happening? As in, how will it reach the audience?
Yes, we have spanned it over 10 days. So just like we normally would span it on over 10 days, but we have chosen to have one major event every evening. We have chosen to start everything at 8:35 because of the news in Malta, so that everybody is freer. And it is available via our YouTube channel mostly, which is what we're trying to promote most, as well as Facebook channels and lots of information on Twitter and on our website. Every night is a different performance. The most important thing for me was to create performances that are created for the medium of a digital medium rather than record something as in repurpose something. So I think that's the most exciting part of it. Is there's a lot of new work and a lot of things created specifically for digital purpose.
Basically, if I'm understanding correctly, the festival will be available for free online?
It will be, yes, absolutely. And that's another thing, because we're trying to use this as a way of breaking certain boundaries that existed before, and including, of course, geographical boundaries, which is time boundaries, because sometimes people don't have time enough to get from one place to another after work, and also financial restrictions. Of course, sadly, it means that we still have to crack, as the artistic community as a whole around the world, we still have to crack how to reach people who might not have access to the internet. So we're working hard on it. I'm sure every artistic director around the world is trying to do this. But I think in as many possible ways, it has actually dissolved many other boundaries and created ways in which for us to think quite differently. But it's very exciting, even though I say so myself.
It is indeed, because the potential to reach new audiences is there, and maybe even on an international scale. So there's that.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, naturally, organizing a festival online is a completely different kettle of fish. But I believe that you already have such experience organizing a recent festival in Oxford, which was post-COVID. So can you tell us a bit more how that worked out?
Well, yes, absolutely. I think that was my baptism of fire, because it was very, very raw and fresh for everybody, because we were kind of really peak pandemic time, and we had to sort of change everything that was already organized. So because of that, it was a steep learning curve, and one which actually served me very well for Malta. So lots of technological things that I had to learn, of course, and my team had to learn, but also thinking of how to create something that makes sense on digital platform, rather than, as I said before, rather than just film a performance. So that has served us well here. My team has been working very, very hard in Malta, but of course, like you and I are doing now on Zoom, it means that we have been able to speak quite a lot. I thought the most important thing to do was to retain the kind of the ethos of the Three Palaces Festival, which is about the rich heritage and beauty that we have around us, and then think of curating things in that way. So, for example, we have the first performance is an interdisciplinary evening with haute couture. Luca Spardi, who you might know, who I love his work and him as a person.
But here.
Paired together with new music, with new choreography, a new narrative. We're going into goddesses and deities and all sorts of wonderful things. but filming it in a way that is particularly for this medium. So everything has been thought of in this way.
So you've had to rethink your entire approach. I'm imagining, because it's not just a question of having your usual performance and recording it. So there must have been quite some additional challenges involved in this. Can you kind of explain some new elements that maybe before weren't needed?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm not going to give the game away, because there are some things that I want people to just be surprised when they see.
Fair.
Because I think they will be. So, for example, on Friday the 13th, because it is Friday the 13th, I think, put your seatbelts on, or whatever it is, not to be scared. Because we're having a wonderful thing that has been created specifically for something that is digital, with the fragments of horror that started with Nosferatu and Bram Stoker.
Sounds very promising. Yes,
it is. I'm very, very excited about it. There's another project that I worked with Renzo Spiteri and Francesca Tranter, which is based on Beethoven. This year is Beethoven's 250th anniversary. So it's based on Beethoven, but it's actually based on his Last Testament, which is a really poignant text, a very heartbreaking text. We always think of Beethoven as this stormy man, but very few people realize that, he was going through a horrible thing for anybody, let alone a composer, and the loss of his hearing. And we're basing it on that, which seems to chime really well with the fact of isolation at the moment, because you're internally isolated from the rest of the world. So again, it's new composition, new choreography, new visuals. Emma Tranter has been doing magic with her filming and photography. So everything's been created like that. I don't know, Ruben Zara and Dawn, who I'm sure you know. I think they're two of the finest exponents for contemporary music in Malta. But again, we have thought very differently how to film something, part of it is even filmed in the tower of Haloa, because we're working with chimes and things like that. So everything has been thought of very, very differently this year.
In fact, the festival is very much tied, as its name implies, to a specific location. It tends to be very site-specific. So, being online, will we still get to, as an audience, will we still get to experience these wonderful locations? And what was the process to choose them, maybe adapted to this digital reality? How did it work out?
Yes, absolutely. That is very, very important to me always. As in, I'm a very site-specific curator. I in general. So even if it's not digital, however, of course, in this year we had to do so even more. So that is what. So for example, if I take Luke's, because it's the first one, the inspiration was actually the grotesque painting in the Museum of Archaeology upstairs in the Grand Salon, and the contours helped us imagine what we wanted to do. So that is how we worked. If we're doing St. John's Cathedral, which is the most splendid place for me, probably in the world. I'm biased slightly, but I do think it is extraordinary. So again, we've matched that with the artifacts that we have of the illuminated manuscripts from L'Isle Adam. So everything is paired in that way, even here. So I've done some performances. We are showing some things from England, actually. So again, I used a place which has wall paintings that depict, in this case, it was the Passion of Christ, and choosing a cappella works that match the wall paintings. So I don't know, I was thinking Three Palaces Festival, we have to have a palace, we have to have a palace. So San Anton Palace, and I have to thank Sandro D'Apollo for his help in this, and of course His Excellency the President of Malta, who gave us his patronage. So we're having chamber music in the palace.
Wow.
I then thought, I don't know, slightly left wing perhaps, but I then thought, leave your cloaks and tiaras behind you and let's go to the citadel of jazz, and let's go to Ronnie Scott's. So it's another kind of palace. It's a palace, in a different way, a palace for jazz. So everything has been thought of, I think, in this way. Not I think, that's the way I was thinking throughout, making sure that the experience is a total experience rather than just experiencing a one-dimensional art form.
I have to say, I'm really excited about this now, because we're going to be transported to so many places. Okay. Okay, so basically the festival takes place between the November 6th and November 14th, if I'm correct. And anyone who wishes to access these concerts, well, these experiences more than anything, should follow the Festivals Malta Facebook page or go on their YouTube page, and they will find all the details about the upcoming concerts there. Am I correct?
Absolutely. So it's 6th to the 15th of November, all 8:35 Malta time. And yes, everything is online on our website, on our Facebook, on our YouTube channel, which is being born, and on our Twitter that has just been born. So please follow us over there as well. So yes, absolutely. I should mention, of course, one of the nicest things for me is our relationship with the Malta Philharmonic Orchestra also every year. And even in these times, we have managed to do something together at the Mediterranean Conference Center. So it's quite special to have been able to do something with a large ensemble and our national orchestra in these times as well. So
undoubtedly. Okay, thank you ever so much for bringing this alive for us. People, simply go online and at 8:30 press play and you have it there all unfolding in front of you. Thank you ever so much, Michelle.
Thank you, Ramona, very much.
A celebration of the arts in our beautiful surroundings. Experience the extraordinary within the palaces of your mind. The Three Palaces Online Festival between the 6th and the 15th of November. Produced by Festivals Malta.